What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be taking a look at Hotfix 22.14.0, which obviously includes the new Octavia Mesa skin, the changes to the way arcanes are placed within our arsenal, as well as the removal of trials and raids, and a couple other things. So I figured we'll go ahead and start with the star of the show, the Octavia Mesa skin herself, and I have to admit, when I first saw it, like, in the art, I thought it was great, and then they started showing off the models, and I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know, it's not really living up to its reality, but now that we have it here, I am super duper impressed. I love, you guys know, I'm a sucker for metallics, and this thing is basically all goddamn metallics. Like, the primary is metallic, the secondary is metallic, the tertiary is like the only matte thing there, the accent is also metallic, and the energy is absolutely fantastic. So if we take a look at it, like, look at that. It's just all like faceted. Somebody almost told me that while she does kind of look infested, while she does kind of look savage, she also looks kind of crystalline, which I'm really into. And there's something about the face. Okay, when you look at it, there's a couple different ways to kind of observe it. Those lighter bits are either teeth, or they're kind of like where her eye, like a band across her eyes are, right? Does that kind of make sense? It's one of those two, but regardless, it looks pretty goddamn savage, and I'm super into it. I almost kind of like get a little bit of a Valkyrie feeling, and I'm loving it, especially all of the energy details. So as you can see, you know, with the normal Octavia skin, you get a lot of those bands of energies around the mandicord, and it's really flashy, and it's really in your face. And it's kind of like taken down a notch here, but if you look at all of the energy that's on her, it is very much moving and flowing, which I think is a nice kind of like throwback to the fact that her original skin had a ton of energy effects on it. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the SANDR real quick, because that one, as you guys know, I'm not super duper fond of, but I don't hate it as much as you guys think I would. It is the Verissimo SANDR. Now, the thing that I will say about this, and I'll actually, you know what, I'll hold it until after we take a look at the weapon skin, but the one thing that I will give this kind of like decent marks for is its movement. For some reason, it doesn't, even though it kind of flops, it flops in a way that's like less obtrusive, even though it is still a little bit jelly-like. The physics on it feel a bit better than some of the other skins that we've seen out there. However, I think my biggest issue with this is the fact that, you know, it's a very solid piece up here, right? It's literally a solid back attachment, but there is no kind of like discernible mark from where it goes solid down into like a moving fabric. And that's, I think, the one thing that really bothers me with a lot of the jelly textures is like, it's supposed to, like, why is it fabric down here and why is it solid up here? You know, like, why is this part jelly and why is this part well done? You know, it's like two different parts of a steak. It doesn't make any sense. Like, did you leave this half on the grill and half not on the grill? But the physics are not as bad as normal jelly ones. So I'm not gonna hate on it. Is it gonna be the thing that like makes me go, oh my god, you must pick this up? No, it's not. Now we're actually gonna go ahead and move on to the second part, which is the Boltor skin, which is, what's the name of this one? Let me just make sure. Ignore all the builds and stuff. It is the Boltor Bravara skin. And I honestly think it looks really cool. I like the fact that it's a little bit of a change from the Boltor, and one of the things that you'll notice is that when you fire this weapon, you actually see some like smoke emitted from the front, which I'm kind of into. I'm like into the little details like that. The one thing that I will say about this set, before we move on to take a look at, I was gonna call her Valkyrie, but before we take a look at Octavia's balls in the, what do you call this, in the simulacrum, because that is something that has changed as well, is the number one thing that I do have to knock them down points for is, why is she so metallic and everything else so matte, right? Like, this is matte, but Octavia herself is pretty much all metallic. So that definitely throws me off as to why, you know, they didn't keep the consistent theme all the way through the skins. But you know what? It's a nice little change if you guys want to fiddle around with the colors a little bit, and that's something you will have to do. You can't just hit copy Warframe colors and it's gonna instantly match, because of course metallics have a little bit more depth, there's a little bit more shadow, there's a little bit more richness to them than flat matte shades, so you'll have to play around a little bit in order to get them to match. However, I do still think it's something that you should pick up. As you guys know, I'm a big fashion frame collector, so I'm going to take every single skin that works with it. I'll probably just do some recolorations to try to make it work with the skin a little bit better, but you can go ahead and pick up the skin just by itself for 150 plats. But if you do pick up the bundle, which includes a sound pack, and we'll get into that in a second, that will actually run you 145 platinum, right? 245 platinum. I lied. Let me make 100%. No, I'm pretty sure it's, listen, let's make bets right now. I'm pretty sure I got it. 150 for the skin on its own, and then 245 for the actual bundle, which includes a sound pack. And I think that's pretty gosh darn good, because the sound packs on their own are, I think, like 50 plat. So that's definitely a big plus. However, let's go ahead and listen to that sound pack. Alright, before we jump into the music pack, I wanted to go ahead and show you Octavia's balls real quick. Now, as you can see, you toss down amp, and this little nugget has definitely undergone some changes. It looks like a little star, and it's really, really pretty. It actually takes on the colors that Octavia is wearing, but as you can see here, we get the bigger version of it when we go ahead and hit her 2. So as you can see right there, this thing got tread for days. This shit will take you up mountains, it'll take you through the rain, it'll take you through the snow, like legit, that shit is some heavy duty crap right there. And as the smaller one did, it went ahead and adopted her color as well. Why Vauban's balls don't magically do that, you know, because I mean, my Vauban Prime really needs some rose gold balls, but he can't seem to get his hands on any of those. Regardless, those are all of her balls for you to take a look at. But what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and toss on the audio of the game. I'm going to go ahead and max it out. I don't know how loud this is going to be for you guys, and I'm kind of worried a little bit that it's going to be too loud. But let's go ahead and take a little listen to the new Mandicord. So this is going to be the Horus sound set, and this is supposed to be EDM. Right? It's not bad. I'm kind of feeling this. I'm feeling it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I will be honest. It feels a little samey to some of the other things that they've done before, but the sounds do have a nice quality to them. So I'm not hating on it. It's definitely something that I'm gonna play around with, see if I can't make another song with. Because you know me, I've got a couple Octavia songs under my belt that I am pretty gosh darn proud of. I'm gonna turn the music down real quick, however. But to go along with all of that, we did get a couple new Nardas, so I figured I would go ahead and show those off. And I've tried to kind of keep this so that I'm not really paying I tried to not look too closely at them so that I could just judge them as they came through, but they're like a whole bunch of new dance artists. I think it's like 6 in total. So we got this one. Okay, I feel like there's a little too much hand motion. Like, are you swimming? Are you waving? Have you not made up your mind? That's like you're in the club and you're trying to get someone's attention. That's what it feels like. You're like in the middle of a dance, but you're also trying to call over your friends like, hey, come this way. You know what I mean? Then we have the Degage Narda, or Degag Narda. That's how you are at the end of the night, where you're really tired, but you don't want to admit to your friends you're really tired. No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I'm good. You know, the alcohol has kind of caught up to you, and now you're getting a little tired. You're like, oh no, I'm good. Just get an energy drink. We'll be fine. The Noble Narda. Now this is my shit. This is the way. I caught a glimpse of this one, and I was like, hip hop. I'm like, that's me at the club. That's one of my moves at the club. It's like you're shoving your booty in a direction. That's all it really is. You shove your booty in one direction, you get a little knee swagger. You shove your booty in the other direction, and you got your hands on your hips, because when I dip, you dip, we dip, right? Okay. let's move along. We've got the Terrascope Narda. I don't know what that is, but I think they need to take it back. I don't. We're moving along to the Cruzar Narda. Oh, okay. Okay, this is like somebody who's taken a dance class or two, or been to like aerobics, and they think that that's actually dancing. You know, they're like 1 step, 2 step, and you know they're doing the step count in their head. I'm like, okay, all right, listen. You know, that's what you decided to do with your college degree. I'm all about it. You do you. Whatever makes you what makes you the happiest. Now this one I did see because this was the last one. And you know that's all the men at the club. That's the straight men at the club. They don't want to admit that they really like that Britney Spears song that's like on right now. And so they just gonna tap themselves on the knee. Cause you know, they don't want to admit that they know all the lyrics to each and every one of the goddamn songs that is coming on right now. But like, no, you know, Taylor Swift? No, I'm not into Taylor Swift. No, Beyonce, I mean, she's cool. She's cool, so I'm just gonna tap my leg. That's exactly what it is. This is like how Life of Rio is at when he hears one of those songs that he doesn't think that he should be listening to, but in his head he's like, I kind of like this. So those are our new Nardas. I'm gonna go ahead. Am I free? No, I can't actually move. I need to move. I want to go ahead and show you guys some of the new things that came with Arcanes, so that you guys are aware of it and aware of how to do it. So as you guys know, Arcanes have been reset. So what we can actually do is we can toss on Arcanes into our Warframes. The only thing that you have to keep in mind, and we can hit none real quick, is that you will have to level up your Arcanes again, because clearly all of my Arcanes have been like unranked, right? But basically what happens is you just go into your build and you'll see empty Arcane slots. So what you can go ahead and do is you can just go ahead and like take this one. We'll upgrade that for 2 Arcane. This isn't really the Arcane that I'm using on her, just so that you know. But as you can see, there's a little icon that shows exactly how far up it's upgraded. So you can upgrade it again. You can go ahead and upgrade that for 4 Arcanes. And you can go ahead and equip that onto your Warframe. Done and done. You can do that for the same for any of the other Arcanes out there. So that's pretty much all that needs to be said about that. You can also do it with your Zaz, I believe. So as you can see here, there's an empty Arcane slot. You can go ahead and toss on any of the Arcanes that are available there. And same thing goes for your Operator. I don't think I can show the Operator here, but you can do that for the Operator and the Amp as well. So you're all good and set for that. Alright, so as you guys know, there's been a whole bunch of Captura features that were added in with this update, as well as like camera movements and adding text to Captura, some filter gradients and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to cover that in this video. If you guys really want one of those, maybe, you know, just go ahead and leave that in the comments below and say that we really want you to kind of like take us through how you would do something like that. You'll probably end up seeing me use it in the official Octavia Maestra Dress to Kill. I'll probably use some of those in there, but I did want to go ahead and bring it to your attention that if you are doing a lot of things with your syndicates, keep in mind that you actually have new Captura scenes that are available in there. So the Corpus, or the parent sequence, now have the Corpus Gas City conduits. The New Loca has, let's see, the Grenier Shipyards manufacturing scene, which looks like it's kind of like they're pulling out different tile sets. So you kind of get a little bit of that. Red Veil. I know I can level up to the next title, but hold on. We have the Infested Bridge scene from the Red Veil. And then when we move on over to like Cephalon Suda, I think she might have, which one she has? She has the Corpus Ice Planet Wreckage scene. So it's nice because we're kind of like being able to expand the places that we can take pictures in. And I think this is the one that I really, really want, the Lua Nursery scene. And this one is from the Arbiters of Hexus. And then last but not least, of course, we have the Steel Meridian. The Steel Meridian has the Grenier Settlement Reactor scene. So there's more places for us to take pictures with. I'm really, really excited because some of these tile sets are kind of iconic. And especially because the Lua the Lua scene, we don't really have too many Orokin based areas, so I'm very, very fond of that. And a nice snowy area for the Corpus as well is definitely welcome. So if you guys haven't checked these out, if you have enough, you know, standing, go ahead and pick them up. And don't forget to play around with Captura as well, because they've added so many features to that too. Alright, so the last little bit that I'm gonna go ahead and add in is a bit of Rob reads you shit that you're probably not gonna want to read yourself. However, I definitely thought that this was very, very important to address. First and foremost, there are general beam weapon changes and fixes. So they fixed beam weapons not being able to damage enemies when being affected by certain crowd control abilities. So yay for that. Damage now ramps up over 0.6 seconds, and after moving off target there is a delay of 0.8 seconds before it starts to decay over 2 seconds. All beam weapons now start the damage ramp up at 20% instead of 10%, with the following exceptions. Convectress starts, the primary fire starts at 60%, and the alt fire starts at 80%. So these weapons, you know, they take a little bit to kind of get going, but now they've kind of increased where their starting point is, which is nice. Convectrix gets to start off at 60 or 80, depending on what you're using. Phage starts at 70, which is definitely nice. The Embolus starts at 30. The multi-shot chance should now apply more consistently with beam weapons, which is very, very good. Weapon range mods like Sinister Reach no longer affect the distance of chains for chainable beam weapons like the Amprex. The main beam weapon distance is still affected by them. So this is good and kind of bad at the same time, but just keep listening and then we'll talk about it, okay? So the Amprex, the chain range is increased from 7.5 to 10 meters. So basically what they're doing is they're making it so that Sinister Reach doesn't affect the other bonus chainable chains. However, they are giving you more base range on the chains themselves. So Amprex goes from 7.5 to 10 meters, and the damage is reduced from 24 to 22. Cycron, the range is increased from 20 to 24 meters. The mag size has decreased from 60 to 40. Hurts just a little bit, but you know what? It ramps up. It tends to replenish its ammo pretty quickly. Atomos, the chain range has increased from 4 to 7 meters, which is definitely nice. So if you think about it this way, because I know a lot of people have been playing around with the Atomos as of late. It's like become really, really popular after the changes to beam weapons. However, while you're not going to get that extra beam distance off of Sinister Reach, off of those secondary ones, it does technically free up a slot for you guys. So that means that you can put extra damage in there, extra status. You can take it as a loss if you want to, or you can try to look on the bright side to see exactly how you can bump up its effectiveness. So the Synapse, the range has increased from 20 to 27 meters, so you're getting 7 more meters out of the Synapse, which is nice, and they increased the damage from 18 to 20. So that's pretty much all of the things that I wanted to chat about. The Flux Rifle, they did tweak the Flux Rifle controller rumble on recharge. Listen, I'm not worried about controllers. Y'all are good with that. But that does pretty much do it for all of the things that I wanted to read to you. Let me know how you feel about the new Octavia skin. Are you guys excited about the new arcane changes? Because I definitely am. We do have to say goodbye to Trials today. That is a sad thought for some people. Actually, I didn't want to end this with a little bit of salt, but I gotta give side eye where side eyes due. So here's the Savati Sakara. Here is the version that you get because raids are over. Thought it was gonna be a little more impressive than that. No, for the time and effort that has been put in. But it's a thing, I guess. We're gonna put away the salt right now. Sodium, too much sodium is bad for your health. However, I'm looking at it sideways. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be a pretty sign, a pretty little emblem, whatever they're called. I'm bad with names. Let me know how you feel about the Invardi Sakara or whatever it's called. Let me know if you feel like it's pretty enough. But regardless, go ahead and leave all of your feels in the comments below. Are you excited about the new arcane changes? Are you excited about the new Octavia skin? Are you loving those metallics? Are you totally into it? Are you going to be making some more music? Because I really haven't heard from anybody making any Octavia music, and it kind of breaks my heart. And whoever just followed, thank you for following me on my Twitch. Regardless, that about does it for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.